Most guys come to Thailand thinking they found a paradise, cheap drinks, beautiful women, and a lifestyle they could never have back home. But what they don't realise is they've just walked into a system they don't understand. And today I'm going to break down exactly how it works, from the village to the bar to you. When most men arrive in places like Pattaya or Phuket, what they see feels almost unreal. Bright lights, loud music, bars lined with women smiling, laughing, calling them in. It feels exciting, it feels easy, and for a lot of guys, it feels like they've stepped into a completely different world. But what most people don't see is where that world begins, because the story of many of these women doesn't start in a bar. It starts in a village, usually in Isan, the northeast of Thailand. This is a completely different environment. No neon lights, no beach clubs, no five-star hotels, just farmland, small communities, and a slower, more traditional way of life. A lot of families live day to day. Money isn't abundant, work is consistent but low paying. You'll see people waking up early, working in the heat, doing physical labour, or working basic jobs in small towns, convenience stores, local markets, roadside food stalls. Now, a girl growing up there might spend her days helping her family, maybe working in a 7-Eleven or selling food on the side of the road. Something simple like grilled meatballs cooked over a small charcoal grill sold to passing motorbikes. The money from that kind of work is small enough to survive, but not enough to build a future. But socially, life can actually look quite happy from the outside. Evenings are often spent sitting outside with family or friends, everyone gathered on mats, sharing food, drinking cheap beer, talking, laughing. It's communal, it's familiar, it's real. There's a sense of belonging there that money can't really replace. But here's the problem. That life doesn't offer much upward movement. If you're born into it, there's a strong chance that you stay in it. And over time, that starts to weigh on people, especially younger women who begin to look beyond the village. Dating locally doesn't always offer much either. Relationships can be casual, sometimes unstable. A guy might not have much money himself. That's not a lot of long-term security for these women. So already there's this quiet pressure building, a desire for something more. Then comes the influence that changes everything. Social media. Suddenly, girls in the village are seeing people they actually know, living completely different lives. Friends they grew up with are now in Pattaya or Phuket. And what they're showing online looks incredible. Photos in luxury condos, nights out in clubs, drinking on rooftops, designer handbags, gold jewellery from Thai gold shops, brand new motorbikes, sometimes even cars. You'll see pictures of them travelling, flying to Bangkok, Phuket, even overseas, visiting foreign countries with men they've met from the bars. And all of this creates a very powerful contrast, because back in the village, life has not changed. Same roads, same routines, same income. So the big question becomes unavoidable. Why not me? Why should I stay here struggling when someone I know is out there living like that? And this is where the shift happens. It's rarely a dramatic decision. It's usually practical. A message to a friend. Is there work there? How do I start? And before long, a bag is packed and they leave on the bus. Now, when they arrive in places like Pattaya or Phuket, reality doesn't hit all at once. It reveals itself in stages. At first, it does feel exciting. The city is alive. There's money moving everywhere. There are tourists constantly coming and going. The environment feels full of opportunity. But then comes the realization. Nothing is given. Bars are competitive. You're not the only girl trying to get attention. You're one of many, sometimes dozens in one bar alone. And this is where behaviour starts to evolve, because very quickly they learn what works. A simple smile isn't enough. You have to stand out. You have to engage. You have to make a man feel like he's not just another customer. This is where what many guys call love bombing comes in. But from the outside, it gets misunderstood. Men often think, she's different, she really likes me. But in reality, this is a skill. It's learned by watching others, by seeing which girl makes money, which ones get customers to come back, which ones build relationships that go beyond a single night. It's attention, compliments, physical closeness, emotional warmth, and when done well, it feels real, and that's the key. Because if it felt fake, it wouldn't work. Now here's where it gets complicated. Not every interaction is purely fake either. These women are still human. Sometimes they do like the guy. Sometimes they enjoy the company. Sometimes there is a genuine connection, but it exists alongside something else. Incentive. Because the end goal isn't just connection, it's a better life. The 5-star hotels, the travel, the gold, the lifestyle they saw online, that's not authentic. That's not automatic. It's earned, and it's usually tied directly to the foreign men they meet. Foreign men especially represent opportunity, higher income, different mindset, more willingness to spend, so relationships can form that are part emotional, part financial. Some are short-term, some turn into long-term arrangements, some even turn into marriages. But regardless of the outcome, the system stays the same. Attention creates income, connection creates opportunity, and consistency builds a lifestyle. Now here's the part most people don't talk about online. For every girl you see living that high-end lifestyle, there are many more who aren't. Some struggle, some barely make enough, some send most of their money back home to support their families, because that's another layer to this responsibility. A lot of these women aren't just working for themselves, they're supporting parents, siblings, children. So the pressure isn't just personal, it's shared, and that changes how decisions are made. It's not always about romance, it's often about survival and progression. So when men walk into these bars and try to make sense of it all, they usually ask the wrong question. They ask, is she genuine? When the better question is, what situation is she operating in? Because once you understand where she came from, what she saw, and what she's trying to achieve, her behaviour starts to make a lot more sense. It doesn't make it good or bad, it makes it logical. And the final piece of this is understanding that none of this exists in isolation. This system is built on both sides. On one side, you have women chasing a better life. On the other, you have men looking for attention, connection, excitement, or escape, take either side away and the whole thing collapses. But as long as both sides exist, places like Pattaya and Phuket will keep running exactly the same way, not as a fantasy, but as a very real, very human system driven by money, emotion, and opportunity. Once you understand the full picture, it stops looking like a fantasy and starts looking like a system. Nobody's completely innocent in it, and nobody is completely to blame either. It's just supply, demand, and human nature playing out in real time. The sooner you see it for what it is, the less likely you are to get played by it. At the end of the day, these aren't just bar girls, and they're not just customers either. It's people on both sides trying to get something they feel is missing: money, connection, escape, security, whatever it is. And when those needs meet in a place like Pattaya or Phuket, this is what you get. If you walk into this world thinking it's all real, you're going to learn the hard way. If you walk into it thinking it's all fake, you're still missing the point. The truth sits somewhere in the middle, and that's where most guys get caught out. This is the side of Thailand most people don't want to talk about. Not the beaches, not the postcards, but the reality behind the scenes. And if you're going to spend time out here, you need to understand it, not just enjoy it. Welcome to Thai Talk with Dan Unleashed.
Oh, we don't have. We're using one mic per stream. We could both.